Drought-stricken farmers in regional Victoria and South Australia are at breaking point as those parts of the country experience the driest 24-month period on record. The seat of Mallee in far northwest Victoria is one of the areas in the grips of this crisis, and that's where Nationals MP Anne Webster joins us live from her office in Mildura tonight. Good to talk to you, Anne. As a South Australian, I've been aware of this for some time. It's taken a while to hit the national attention, but it's essentially all of South Australia hit by this drought, and especially Western Victoria and southern New South Wales. Give us a sense of just how bad the situation is.
Thanks, Chris, for having me. It is bad and it's getting worse, obviously, while we don't have rain, particularly in our neck of the woods down south in Western Victoria and in South Australia. And look, talking to farmers who have been farmers for a long, long time, they are really feeling the pain, and it's particularly the livestock farmers, because not being able to feed your sheep and not being able to feed your dairy herd is a massive weight on their shoulders. And we know that hay has been difficult to get. The prices have gone through the roof, and so for a farmer to be able to access hay can cost $20,000 a week, and grain $47,000 a month. So that all adds up and is an enormous burden to the farmers down in my neck of the woods, but also, of course, across in South Australia. It's actually why I was really pleased, Chris, to meet with the Rapid Relief team today in Mildura. 27 B doubles. It's such a joyous sight. 27 B doubles full of hay coming from Bathurst area in New South Wales, where they've had really good years, and coming through Mildura on their way down to Jamestown in South Australia. And look, I can't tell you just how fantastic that is, and the humanity, just that heart of humanity that people have to help in a time of need. So, you know, all credit to those guys, the farmers, the truckies, those who provided the hay. It's just amazing. You're out there with them, Anne. These are farmers who have actually got some feed, been able to cut some hay, and they're giving up their time and effort to go and help out strangers. Absolutely. Isn't it the best of Australia? In time of need, in time of crisis, in a time of emergency, people reach out. So, you know, it doesn't let the government off the hook, obviously. What the government is providing is not enough, and David Littleproud has been really clear, and I've echoed his words many times, that the Regional Investment Corporation Fund ought to be interest-free for the next 2 years, interest only for 3 after that, and principal and interest for 5 after that. It's exactly what we put in place as a coalition in 2020, and we're calling on the government to match that deal because farmers are desperately needing a breather. Yeah, look, I tell you what, now, not to downplay the situation anywhere, but the mid-north of South Australia and even northwestern Victoria, where you are, and southern New South Wales, you can get hit by drought. You know, some of that country is rather marginal, but the southeast of South Australia, the Adelaide Hills, these are normally places that get really regular rains. They're normally places where they're actually growing the hay and able to help out the people in hard times. I know, as you say, initially it was the expense of getting hay in for farmers. Then it was just being able to get the hay. There's just not enough around. Is there enough feed around this country to get into these areas, or are we going to start losing stock in big numbers? Well, I know that some farmers are trying to get some of their stock into abattoirs, and there's a queue. That's not a good sign. No. And I know that farmers in Western Australia are bringing hay across, and of course New South Wales. The good news is, and it's always good to bring out some good news in difficult times like this, is that the South Australian government have waived the biosecurity inspection costs, if you like, for the truckies as they're bringing the hay through. The biosecurity is still taking place, but they're waiving the fee. That's a really good thing. I'd really like to see the Victorian government do the same thing. And, you know, as a nation, we have enough food. It's just getting it to where it needs to be. So help needs to continue to be on its way.
And I love your work being involved heavily in all of this, and we can see the emotion as you talk about it. Let's keep in touch and make sure that no one forgets this issue. Thanks for joining us. Anne Webster there, who's the Shadow Minister for Regional Development. She's the Nationals MP based out of Mildura, covering northwest Victoria there. You see the emotion, the tears in her eye, just at seeing the generosity and mateship displayed by farmers and their families in better parts of the country just at the moment, helping out their mates. Great to see, but gee, there's a lot of people in dire strife. We've got to make sure we have governments and others doing all they can to help them.